Well, just howdy, gang. How y'all doing today? We got old Maudie over there tied to the trailer. We're here still at that Broadstand trailhead. Fixing to take old Maudie on her first trail ride by herself and just see how well she does. So Miss Fern passed her evaluation on her first ride with days off. Like a dream with flying colors. You see Miss Fern there in the trailer. She's done. She's sweating hot, tired. Done got her about a 5-6 mile ride. Now we're going to do the same thing on this little jewel right here, old Maudie, and see how old Maudie handles it. Hopefully old Maudie will handle it just as sweet and just as good as what Miss Fern did. That's our goal. That's what we're looking for. Time will tell. So again, guys, if something happens and she don't take this trail ride the way she should, then we'll keep going until she settles in the way she's riding and goes to behaving herself. Starts riding like a lady. Hopefully she'll ride off like a lady from the very beginning. That's what we're looking for. She is a really nice mare. She's been a little bit of a handful to kind of get through to let her know, hey, don't be a butthole, you know. Once she realized that we could get along and it was a whole lot more fun for her and for me and everybody else, if she just went on with the flow and got along, well, once she finally realized that, well, life got a lot easier for the both of us. So she had her 2 days off, and if I'm not mistaken, I think old Maudie is somewhere around her 23rd, somewhere between 20 and 25 rides. Again, guys, she's had her first 2 days off since she's been with me, so we're gonna just mount up on this pretty little jewel and see how well we get along. All right. Now, Miss Maudie, are you ready? Miss Maudie said, yes, sir, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready too. Let's go. So we're just going to start her right down this trail and expect her to be the lady that we've taught her to be. Anytime she does not conform and be the lady that we want her to be, we will address it accordingly. We will not be expecting or looking for her to make a mistake, because many times when you do that, you cause them to make a mistake. I truly believe a horse can feel. I know that a horse can feel their rider's nerves and expectations. When a horse's rider is nervous, whether you realize it or not, you make that horse nervous. So I'm gonna be just as cool, calm, and relaxed as I can be, and expect her to ride through here like the lady that I taught her to be, okay? So far, so good, guys. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Hope she stays that way. If she stays like a good girl should, she'll get her about a 4 or 5 mile ride, maybe 6. It'll be the same track that Miss Fern got if she continues to be a lady. So we're gonna go right on and video for her, same as we did for Miss Fern, because like I said, this is her evaluation day. Is this mare's training staying together, or is this mare only going through the motions and then we have to retrain her again? That is what we don't want. That means that some of what we taught didn't stick. If everything we taught, everything we showed this mare stuck, this mare should ride around just as good as she did the day we quit her, okay? I love the way she's putting her head down, just going right on down this trail. And again, guys, I love these trails out here. They're full of peace and quiet and calm. You know, especially during the week, you don't have a whole lot of people running here and riding there and so forth. And it just makes it a good ride for your colt and you know. Sometimes you'll see the wildlife, you're crossing the creeks. You know, you're hearing things and seeing things that's just peace and quiet and calm. Shucks, I guess in a way it kind of gives the feeling of what it would have been like to ride through these mountains years ago from one big town to another big town, right? Or to come out here camping or trapping or hunting or whatever they used to do years ago, you know, when they weren't doing anything in particular other than just going from town to town. You know, back then it'd take months a lot of times to ride from Fort Smith through here to different places, you know. But that's the beauty of it. And the challenge, I guess. Other than this squeaking saddle, can't hear nothing. It's just calm and quiet. That's what we like. This saddle gonna need a little more oil to stop all that squeak and rattle. If I ever get time to get out of it long enough to oil it. But hey, that's a blessing, and I am so thankful to have the horses and the folks on the list that are willing to wait for me to get to their colts. I promise you I will do my ever living best job to get to you guys as efficient as I can. And at the same time, you find folks that's waiting on me, I hope you realize that when you do finally get here, that I'll go above and beyond, and you can see that I'll go above and beyond to give you back the best product in your horse that I can give you. That's my prayer daily, that the Lord provides me the knowledge and teaches me what I need to know to help every horse be the best they can be for their owners, so that when those horses go home, they are a blessing to their owners instead of a nuisance. So when you get a horse from me, it's not just me riding, it's God riding, because I'm asking God to help me on every horse I train, so that hopefully everybody that sends me horses get their horse home and say, hey, that's amazing. And it means I didn't do it. It means God did it through me, right? When you ride with God, I don't know that you could ride better with anybody else. I know that you couldn't ride better with anybody else, or learn better for that matter. Well, now let's see if old Maudie still remembers how to kind of turn around. Y'all want to? Let's get to this open spot up here and see if she'll still kind of roll over herself like a lady should. Shucks, how about right here? Go to the left. Well, come here, sis. Yeah, look at her turn over herself. Looky there. Good girl. Just wadded right up, rocked back on her hocks, and come right on. That's good. That's what we like. Good girl, Maudie. Maudie, good gracious. Maudie, that's mighty fine, mighty fine. How about this way, Maudie? Can you turn around this way? Come here, Maudie. Hey, hey, hey. Can you turn around this way, Maudie? Hey, 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 hey. Hey, turn around here. Yeah, that's mighty fine, Maudie. Good girl. Mighty good gracious. Yeah. Good girl. Riding these trails up here next to Winding Stair can sure help a person see how a man could leave his house and a month or two later leave his house on a colt that don't know come here from Sikkim. And a month or two later, when he gets to that next town he's going to, or wherever it is he's headed, he'd sure enough have a nice broke horse when he got there. I can sure see how these old mountains sure take it out of a baby. Well, I know how these mountains will take it out of a baby. That's one of the reasons that we're here riding, help these babies calm down, pay attention, and just ride. I love to see a horse riding quiet, put her head down and go. Same as Miss Fern did. That's beautiful. I love to see them colts doing that. That means they're confident and they're comfortable here in these woods with me, right? That means that horse is accepting me as her leader, as her band leader, and she's just as comfortable to be here with me as she would be with the head mare that's led her all her life. And that's what we should all strive to be as we ride our horses. Be our horse's leader. You know, be our horse's friend, but also be the one that tells our horse, hey, you're going to do what I tell you when I tell you, right? Because that's what their leader does when they're in the wild. If you'll watch a band of old mares, there'll be one boss mare in the bunch, And that boss mare makes sure that everybody else does just what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. Maudie, you missed the trail, honey. Right there. There you go. Looky there, Maudie, there's a creek. You want a drink? You want you a drink of that? You gotta get in it to get a drink of it, turd. No, you gotta get in it to get a drink of it. There. Oh, yeah. Oh. Whoa. Well, okay, I guess you don't want a drink. That's fine. You didn't need one anyway. You get thirsty, you'll stop and drink. Now, when we get up here, we're gonna work on old Maudie's steering at the trot. Make sure we're still G-hawing where we're supposed to. Gather our reins up. We're gonna say, hey, Maudie, step up here. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Pick your feet up, Maudie. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Get up here, Maudie. Come here, Maudie. Steer right around here for me. Can you steer right around here for me? Come on. Come on. There. Good girl. Shoot, yeah, old Maudie did good, didn't she? Good little trot around. We'll get to where we can here shortly and we'll lope her too, same as we did Miss Fern. And we're beginning to work on some of her steering. That's why you see me moving my hands so much. Help her realize you got to follow my hands. And she's trying to follow them, and that's good. That's what we want her to do. That means her mind's moving back here next to my saddle horn. That means that all that hard work wasn't for naught, and it wasn't in vain. It was worth it because she's responding to it. Okay? Good girl. Good girl. Just stepped right over that log. Stepped right over that creek. Just like a lady should. Yeah, that's what we like right there. That's what we like. Good girl. I think some of what we're seeing now in old Maudie is we're finally getting into some of that older blood that wants to work with us instead of some of that stuff that maybe don't want to work with us as much. This little mare kind of had a temper in the beginning. She thought that, you know, getting mad and telling me no and fighting was the right way, and I'm sure that's because, you know, that's the way she earns her status in the band of mares that she runs with. And she had to realize real quick that the only way to gain respect with me is by being good. The better you are to me, the better I am to you. And likewise, the harder and meaner you are to me, the more stiffer and sterner I am with you. She realized real quick she didn't like the stiff and stern Scott Harper. She really likes the Scott Harper that says, hey, good girl, that's what I wanted right there. That was good. You know, and I'm proud of that. It means that this mare can be taught and that she is making an attempt to learn. Okay? It does not mean that this mare is what I would call broke. It means this mare is finally beginning to decide that, hey, riding around with me is a lot more fun than it is to fighting with me. This mare is pretty smooth to ride. She's pretty athletic. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, how this mare comes out when we go to putting some arena time in her. Stop, turn, back up, get a handle on you, hurry up, let's go. You know, I think when we go to stepping on the gas with this mare, when we finally get her, you know, where she's really ready to step on the gas, I think we're all going to see a horse that's got a whole lot more there than what we think is there. I'm pretty positive from what I'm feeling as I ride this mare that I'm gonna get to see a whole lot more of an athlete than what I've been seeing so far. I mean, I know she's an athlete from what I've seen, but I think she's going to be able to show me that she's not only an athlete, but she can also take training, you know, in waves and not just have to have it baby doll dialed down and little bitty steps at a time for her. I think there's a time fast coming when this mare's finally going to say, hey, okay, I want to work with you. Let's get along. Let's be buddies. Show me what you want so I can get you to back off me, right? So you're not pushing me so much. So right there, we're outside leg. Right there, we're outside leg. And guys, if y'all can see, this mare's wadding up and turning over her hocks, basically on her own, just from my outside spur and a little bit of bridle rein. Now we're gonna go this way. Come here, sissy. Now, same thing, turn around. And you notice, guys, this mare did not hump up. And we're bumping with the bridle rein, same as we're bumping with the outside leg, telling her, hey, come around here, okay? Now, whoa, now we're gonna tell her back up. There, we're gonna sit here and breathe for a minute. Good girl. Good girl. You say, well, Harper, why'd you not do Fern that way? Well, because Fern didn't need it or have to have it. Fern was staying soft and supple. This mare's staying soft and supple, but she's also leaning on my bridle a little bit, and then there you see her want to take off when I told her, whoa, I need her to just sit here. Whoa, remember, off switch. Have to teach off switch. Now, if she were to just, I'm just going to go on, then I'd pick me a tree that I could trot around both ways, like that big pine tree right there. And we'd go round and round and round and round it about 15 times both ways. And then we'd stop and I'd say, now, remember, that's what off means. There, that was good. She stopped and stayed there until I asked her to move. That means she's finally accepting my off switch. This mare, once we finally got her broken riding, she has decided that she would rather try to hurry and go instead of calm down and learn. And that's only happened maybe 3 times. The third time it happened, I worked her pretty good. I mean, pretty, hey, you're going to slow down or wish you had, right? You're going to stop and stand here. And ever since then, she's been pretty good about, hey, I think I'll just comply. I'll just stop and sit here. It's a whole lot easier to just sit here than it is to charge and get in trouble, right? But hey, guys, that's training, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're here to teach this horse to have an off switch. What all hinges off my off switch? My stop hinges off my off switch. My backup hinges off my off switch. My turnaround hinges off my off switch. My side pass hinges off my off switch. Basically, everything I teach hinges on that off switch. If I don't have an off switch, I don't really have a stop. I don't really have any of that other, and I cannot get any of that other until my horse is willing to stop and be still, okay? That's why I never teach a horse running, walking, go, 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 go until I know my horse has all these qualities down pat. Most of the time, with a lot of them, I won't even start teaching that run and walk till I get into 90-day area of it, because I want to know that my stop is completely instilled, that my off switch is completely branded, fire branded into that horse's mind, what might have you, so that that horse knows he can speed up and shut back off, right? I've found that if I get on these babies and get to go, 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 run and walk, hurry, 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 run and walk, go, 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 hurry, 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 this baby forgets all about learning, and he's just in such a hurry to get through what he's trying to do, he don't really learn anything, okay? And what I mean by that is, yeah, you can go do things on him, but you're constantly pulling and prodding and spurring and forcing him to have to do it. You can't be soft and supple and just ask him to do it and let him do it for you. So that's my reasoning behind that. And again, what works for one won't work for another. Some people agree, some people don't. We've all got the right to have our own opinion and our own beliefs. So that's kind of the way I see it, guys. I am so proud of the way this mare's riding. 2 days off and she come right back and rode like riding so far just like the lady that we taught her to be, right? That's what we want. We want her to be a lady. That's God. That's an answer to a prayer. Through this mare, God has showed me that sometimes I have to go back to some of the old school basics that I seen and learned as a kid that I thought, man, that ain't right. I was wrong. I can see there is a time and place for some of them old school basics depending on the issues and the things that your horse is giving you and or telling you at the time that you're trying to teach him. Does that mean all horses need to go through that? No, I don't think so. I think some horses, the better you are to them, the harder they'll try. And if you're that stern on a horse that's really, really, really trying, been my experience that pretty soon that horse is really, really trying, he'll be so tired he'll go to quitting on the trying end, and then pretty soon he's not trying no more. And then you're constantly having to spank, 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 and that's no fun, not for you or the horse. Again, that's my opinion, guys. Don't mean I'm right. That's just the way I see it. You can be your own judge as to who's right or wrong. Now we're gonna catch her right here and turn her around, just because we can. Hey, Maudie, come here. Come here. Come here, good girl. Hey, Maudie, come here. Come here, good girl. Now, we was hustling her a little bit, making her pick up her feet, bumping her a little harder with the spurs, making this mare come on around. She took it like a lady. I like that. I won't normally ride spurs on a colt at this time, just because most of them, in my opinion, don't need them. This mare is in a way kind of like Fern. She can be a little sluggish sometimes. Maybe not quite as sluggish as Miss Fern, but a little sluggish. And this mare can be a little bit, no, I'm going to do it this way. So I'm like, no, lady, I don't think you are. Okay, so that's the reason that I am using spurs on this filly and the Fern filly. Again, they're not sharp. They're not real pointy rowels. They're really well rounded, and they're pretty good diameter, so that they're not very severe. You know, the smaller your spur rowel, the sharper your points on your spur rowel, the more severe your spur rowel is. I don't like a severe spur on any horse. There is a time and place for them, I have no doubt. I thank God most of the time in my situation I haven't had to use or try to use anything like that. Again, I go back to framing hammer, finishing hammer, sledgehammer, right? So, side of my boot is a finishing hammer. My spurt, okay, now right there she run me into a tree limb, so I told her don't you ever do that again. I eat her up with that leg that she run into the tree and made her move her butt completely around and off that spur. Don't ever run me into a tree limb again. That hurts. You say, now how's that horse gonna know that? Oh, trust me, you run them into that spur enough, they'll figure that out. They realize real quick that that's not a good idea. Now right there, she's gonna run me into that one too. And I caught her and said, no, you ain't. Get over, okay? Now next she'll try it over here on this side. And when she does, she'll get the same thing. Don't do me that way. This mare, I think, is doing that because her feet's probably sore. We've had so much water. I can't help that. This mare has shoes on. She's just gonna have to toughen up. You know, Fern done it. If Fern can do it, you can do it too. And that's all there is to it. And there's never an excuse to run my knee into a tree unless we absolutely have no other choice. With this much space, we have a choice. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna catch her right here and turn her around again. And we're gonna catch her right here and turn her around. Get up here. Good girl. Now, I'm doing a little more hooking than I normally would. Mostly because I want to know for a fact that this mare's going to stay broke, right? Keep your feet where they belong and respond to my feet and don't be bucking. Don't be being a butthole. Don't be humping up trying to fight. Put your head down, figure out what I'm asking. Do it now. That's what I'm telling her, okay? And Fern has already been through this. Trust me, she already knows when that spur goes to coming in, you better find you a place to get. Because if you don't go to moving off of it, very soon you're going to wish you had. I don't want to ride a horse that I'm constantly having to bump all day. If I'm constantly having to bump that horse all day, then I'm not doing something right. Now see there, that mare tried to hurry and turn around that time. And I didn't even have to bump her. Now see right here? There. There. And she didn't really hurry right there, so we're going to help her again. Get that shoulder. Get that shoulder. There we go. Get up here. Now. Come up here. Now. Good girl, Maudie. Now that went from one position with my spur to shoulder position with my spur, which I don't use a whole lot unless I absolutely have to. And that's just instilling. Now, did you notice my boot bumped that pine tree just then? She didn't run me into it, but she made me bump it. I let her get away with that, but if she keeps that up, that foot right down there is going to get a hold of her rib cage and says, don't run my foot, don't run my knee into a tree for any reason. If you do, it's going to be a bad day, okay? This is shaping up to be a really nice mare. I wish that I could know that this mare is going to stay broke the way she's staying right now. Because if she would, the gentleman that owns her, I think, would just literally love her. But because of what she done, in the beginning, I'd sure hate to tell him I think she's fine and then her not be fine. You know, I mean, I think if you was to lay her off, well, that's what we need to do. Probably just need to lay her off for a month or two and then bring her back and see how she rides after a month or two, right? Does she still ride like a lady after a month off, or does she come back being a butthole? Right? Well, there we are, guys. We've rode nearly 3/4 of that circle. We're going to save phone battery and shut y'all off. Again, if y'all like what you're seeing, enjoy your videos, please give us a subscribe. Please subscribe to us. Give us a thumbs up. Shucks, give us a comment. I promise you we will reply. Stay tuned for the rest of these mares' training. I think these horses are going to be really nice. Thank y'all.